Welcome to this Football Manager 2018 video where I have holidayed 20 years into the future on the game. Now I've already made 3 videos that have been uploaded to my channel, one 5 years into the future, 10 years into the future and 15 years into the future. So if you want to have a look at those in a bit more detail, the first 15 years, go and check out those 3 videos. I've also put the save file downloads within those videos as well. Once again, there's a save file in the description below if you want to download it and just play around a bit with this file 20 years into the future, have a look at things in more detail, or possibly play on from this point if you really want to. Now in those previous 3 videos we've seen England be very dominant, I suppose. Some people have said they've been a bit overpowered, but you can see they've dropped all the way to 17th in the world rankings. Brazil are still top, they're a long way ahead of Italy as well, but you can see it's kind of good to see England dropping off a bit and not dominating too much. Their golden generation is over, and we've got the likes of Ivory Coast ahead of them, USA are ahead of England, Japan as well. Interesting to see. Club-wise though, Chelsea, according to this, they are top reputation-wise. We've got quite a few 5-star reputation teams. In fact, we've got a Brazilian team up there, which is very unusual to see. Schalke, they're ahead of Bayern Munich. So there's been a few changes in world football by the looks of it. Financially though, let's have a look at the turnover. PSG are top, 236 million. Man City, then West Ham. So West Ham, third biggest turnover in the world at the moment. Real Madrid, Man United all the way down here. Barcelona dropped down to 17th. Bayern Munich in 18th. Don't know what's going on with those teams really. League-wise, the Premier League is still the best league in the world, although it's joint with the Spanish La Liga, Liga, Bundesliga. They've all got a 4-star reputation. Moving on to the Ballon d'Or then, or World Golden Ball. They're of course all going to be regens now for the past 5 seasons. I'm not sure who the last real player to win it was. I suppose it was Mbappe actually. But you can see, let's have a look. Now I have already explained that regens on the game do not have real faces. In fact, this guy might be real because that face is different. I think this is the regen face and possibly that is a real life face without a picture. So maybe Felice D'Amico is a real player. I might be wrong. He started at Inter. If anyone can confirm that, I guess he is if it's 17-18 season actually. So he might be the last real player to win the Ballon d'Or, ahead of Carlos Moreno, who we've seen before, and Jeff Collier. But I don't think we've seen Borja Cuesta before. A Real Madrid Spanish guy, 75 caps for his country. He's 30 years old now, but at the time when he won it, he was 26. He's been at Real Madrid his whole career. That is some achievement. John Baptiste Bronner as well, 3rd place, Frenchman. Wow, 136 caps for his country. Been at PSG for quite a few years. Bought for £84 million after Liverpool bought him for £31 million. Carlos Moreno, still a wonderful player on this save, still at Manchester City, 153 caps and 120 goals for Spain. That is insane. I don't understand how Spain aren't dominating this. Maybe they have won the most recent World Cup. We'll have a look. Oh, a West Ham player. Now I support West Ham, for those of you that don't know. Carlos Correa for West Ham won Ballon d'Or. We've seen West Ham on the turnover table. We'll have to see if they've managed to push on and possibly win the Premier League for the first time. But you can see, signed for £43 million. And he was the world's best player a couple of years ago. But this year it was Stefan Froling, German, 86 caps for his country, 26 years old, signed from Real Madrid for £91 million. I'm guessing it's a similar story for the other 2 awards. Footballer of the Year, Carlos Moreno has dominated, as you can see there, in recent years. World Player of the Year, little bit more similar to Ballon d'Or, I guess. We've got the West Ham player featuring there. Well, Team of the Year, let's just go back the last 5 years. This doesn't mean anything to you because these are all regens, but you can just see the players that are featuring, so you can kind of get an idea of the dominant clubs at the moment. It's generally what you see in real life, but of course we're seeing a few other teams slip in there. I mean, English teams don't generally feature in the World Team of the Year awards, do they? But they have started to feature heavily on this save. There's actually 2 West Ham players on there, on the bench, as you can see there. That's the 2034 season. So West Ham player on the right wing. And then 2035, Schalke player in there. A mixture of teams, but generally the big boys. And this is the most recent one. Overall, let's have a look. Has this changed a bit? We've still got Neuer in goal. Still got real life players at the back. Pogba and De Bruyne are still in there. Cristiano Ronaldo is still on there. Mbappe is still in there. But we do have 2 regens in the attacking midfield and striker positions. World Cup then. You can see Brazil won the last one. Previous to that, it was Colombia. We saw that in the last video. But let's just have a look. Someone did actually ask, how many teams are in the World Cup now? I think it's still the standard 32. They haven't increased it to 48 on FM18. That might change for the full release, but I think from 2026 onwards, isn't there going to be 48 teams in the World Cup? I think I'm correct in saying there's only 32. 8, 16, 20, yeah, 32. So they haven't changed that. So I'm not sure why they haven't changed it, but like I said, it might be on full release. We'll have to wait and see. So you can see Serbia got through to the World Cup final on penalties against Holland. Brazil beat Italy. Third place playoff, Italy beat Holland. In the final, Brazil won 2-1 against Serbia, but well done to Serbia. Let's just have a quick look at them. 16th in the world rankings. Luis Enrique in charge. Unusual. Their best player plays for Barcelona, Krčić. Looks very good. And another West Ham player. So they've really put together... Wow, he is insane. 19 finishing, 17 composure, 20... Wow. What a player that guy is. I tend to always look at the Euros on every video, so let's have a look. Now, I do need to look at the Portuguese Premier League because there's been quite a few people saying they want to look at it, so I will look at it. You can see France and Italy made the finals. Now, it's been quite boring in the Euros. It's been the same old teams winning this. Italy beat France in the final of this one on extra time. If we just look at the most recent winners, though, it's been... on this save, Italy, Spain, Germany, Spain, Italy. Pretty boring. Hungary finished second. That is great to see. The Hungarian golden generation reborn, possibly. They're 42nd in the world now, but great to see them reach the finals. Okay, I've not loaded the Portuguese Premier League. Like I've said in previous videos, I've loaded the English, German, French, Spanish and Italian leagues. But we can still look at the top 3 places in Portugal. So here you are. For those of you interested, I know I get a lot of views from Portugal. So you can see here it's the same old teams. In fact, there's no team other than Benfica, Porto and Sporting featuring in the top 3. We've not seen Braga get in there. It's all pretty boring, really. Sporting have won the league once, but I think Benfica look like they've won the league the most times there. But let's go into the Champions League now. Chelsea have really dominated in recent years, but Man City managed to win 2 in a row here, 2023-34 season. West Ham runners-up, as West Ham have been pretty unlucky. They were runners-up 3 times in the Euro Cup and now runners-up in the Champions League as well. Of course, Watford are the biggest winners. Those of you that haven't watched the previous videos won't know about Watford, but they dominated at one point in European competitions and managed to beat Barcelona in a final. But anyway, Schalke then beat Marseille then beat Chelsea, and Chelsea beat Man United. Chelsea have managed to win it for a fourth time, in recent times. Let's look at the Euro Cup then. West Ham have finally won it. Thank goodness for that. They deserved it. 3 finals in like 6 years. Really unlucky. But you can see last 5 years, Lyon beat Liverpool, Benfica beat Real Sociedad, Real Madrid beat Man United, Man City beat Lyon, and West Ham beat Liverpool. The English dominance is kind of over with those 3 winners there, but look at this. Watford, Liverpool, Burnley, Spurs, Man United. Bit over the top, isn't it? But perhaps the English dominance is coming back. English Premier League then, the last few winners. Man City have completely dominated this. Chelsea have managed to win it once, but out of the last, 8 years, it's all been Man City. West Ham, runners-up though. They have finished 3rd a few times as well recently. So they have turned into a very successful team on this. They finished 2nd, only 3 points behind Man City this year. Just go back a few years. It is kind of the same old teams in the top 6. What's happened to Liverpool? You can see this season Southampton and Watford, but Arsenal and Liverpool down in 8th and 9th. And then this season West Brom up in 7th. Most recently though, Cardiff got back to the Premier League but got relegated. Arsenal down in 11th. I don't really know what's happened to them, but they've certainly dropped off a lot. They've not finished in the top 4 since 2030. Top goal scorer, let's have a look at him. Romeo Santini, an Italian for Manchester United. Looks like a very good player. FA Cup wise, wow, West Ham have won it 2 out of the last 3 seasons, but we've seen some different winners. Burnley have managed to win it. They've won a few cups, haven't they? So Man City, Burnley, West Ham, Spurs, West Ham, the last few winners. League Cup wise, it's been pretty boring actually. It's always been the big teams apart from West Brom in 2022, but last 5 winners: City, United, City, Chelsea, United. Quite boring really. In La Liga, Barcelona have finally recovered because they had an awful spell on the game, but they have finally got back to winning ways. Top goal scorer, 30 goals. It was Sakani, something like that. 23 goals in 34 games for France. Looks like a great player. But look, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Barcelona. They are dominant once again. I was starting to worry about them. I thought they might just completely flop and get relegated, which would have been interesting to see, I suppose. Oh look, Celta Vigo up in 4th. They did well there. Ligue 1, PSG are back to dominant winning ways. 106 points this season, unbeaten. Way ahead of second place Marseille. Although they didn't have the top goal scorer, Axel Etienne. Loads of goals for Marseille. Looks like a good player. They don't really, I guess they share the goals around in their team, but look at this. Saint Etienne have finished second twice, but PSG, look, really, really dominant. In fact, what is going on there? Why does it show Saint Etienne as second, but Marseille third? Is that something to do with this playoff thing? No, it can't be. That's weird. Oh, it's because we haven't finished the season yet, so it's not showing the most recent season at the top, which is 2036-37. So it should show PSG, then Marseille, once we've ended the season properly. Serie A has had a mixture of winners in recent years, which is good to see. Crotone finishing second place behind Lazio. That's a really unusual top 6. Juventus all the way down in 7th. Wow. They won it last year. It's not like they've dropped off gradually. They've done well on this save, obviously first for a long time, but suddenly to finish 7th is really quite random. Last 5 winners: Juventus, Napoli, Lazio, Juventus, Lazio. Nothing unusual, I suppose. Lazio have started to win league titles. German First Division, Bundesliga. Bayern Munich have won this season on goal difference. Schalke are really unlucky because they've started to do really well on this save, haven't they? But the last 5 winners has been a mixture. We've seen Leipzig win it, Leverkusen win it. Schalke have finished second quite a few times, but haven't quite managed to push over the line and finished top. So it would be nice to see them push on a bit further. And there's so much we could look at on this save, which is why if you do have FM18 and you're interested, I'd encourage you to have a look at downloading the save and seeing what's going on in a few other competitions, a bit like the Club World Championship. New York City managed to win it. Schalke have won the Champions League a couple of times. They've just not managed to win the Bundesliga. If you would like me to do a 25 years into the future video, if this video gets, let's say, 200 likes, I will do another. I guess it's starting to become a bit less relevant because they're all regens now. We don't look at real players. We can have a look to see if Messi's become a manager or something, because he was head of youth development somewhere. He's retired at the age of 38, so he didn't find a club, I suppose. Cristiano Ronaldo is head of youth development at West Ham, of all places. So he's quite a successful head of youth development then to be working there, I suppose. Working with youngsters isn't particularly high. He's very determined and he's good at adapting to things as well. So he's been head of youth development at West Ham for 9 years. Wow. Anyway, yes, like I said, 200 likes on this video. I will holiday another 5 seasons. Like I said, it's not particularly relevant in terms of looking at real players, but we do get to see what's happened with the teams. What's happened? Like, why have they dropped off? Who started to become a dominant team? And it's interesting in that way, I suppose. And also looking at world rankings, who's won the World Cup and all those competitions. So please hit that like button if you'd like to see another video. There will be lots of experiments on the channel this year. I'm really excited for making creative experiments once again. I've had a year out, so I've got a few ideas. A few old ideas will be coming back as well, I'm sure. If you do have any ideas, stick them in the comment section below as usual. Until next time, enjoy FM18. I'll see you very soon.